Yesterday was challenging for me. I'm usually very, very positive and hopeful and all that other stuff, but something happened where our income got reduced significantly, and I think it just put me into this like spiral. And it was very challenging also because we had a full moon and I was on my red moon, and my emotions were just all over the place. And but the biggest issue was I was not doing my spiritual work for whatever reason. For a week or so I would get up and would barely pray, would not speak to my ancestors, none of that, and I was not grounded. So when changes happened, I was not prepared for it. I didn't feel like I was covered, like I had covered myself and grounded myself in like reality. And my reality is that everything always works out, and that everything that happens for a very specific reason. And it's not to hurt me, it's to help me grow and evolve. And these are things that I already know. I know that worrying is an abundance deterrent. I know that it makes it so you can't connect with anything good. And I was just so low, really low. And it was my kids that brought me back to reality. I thought because of my position that I wasn't allowed to express feelings of like anxiety, I guess. And for a long time, I would just hide things from my kids. I would hide if I was sad. I would hide if I was upset. I'd hide a cutoff notice because what is the point in them being worried? And then I realized that they had made a space for me to be honest with them. And there is a way to let people know, hey, I'm not in the greatest space right now without trauma dumping on them. And I didn't know that. I thought if I told them that I was nervous or if I was just sad, that they would feel like I wasn't fit to lead and that they couldn't trust me. But this is a narrative I made up in my own head, and it's just not true. My kids, they're my kids, but they're not little kids. Like, they're all either grown, like, I have 20, 18, and 16. So they're not little kids. And I learned yesterday that I can also lean on my family. But I also needed to be reminded that I have to wake up every day and make sure that spirituality is a part of my daily routine. I already told y'all that I clean 3 times a day. I get in the shower 3 times a day. I need to add prayer to that. Like, I'm definitely about to become one of them people that take a space out of their day to pray, meditate, ground yourself, connect with spirit, all of that. I need that. Because if not, I'm all over the place. I don't like feeling like that. I want to feel like this all the time. Whether something changes that's good or bad, I still want to be like this. That was a horrible, horrible feeling yesterday. And had that been a few years ago, I would have fallen into a manic episode or fallen into a depressive episode. But I have the coping skills now to prevent that. And being open and honest with my family, you don't have to tell them everything. But just being like, listen, I ain't in the greatest place right now, was amazing. I didn't know that I had that support system. I've been feeling completely alone in this world. I'm not even going to hold you. I feel like everything is my responsibility. If I make a mistake, my whole family is going to die. And that the happiness of my family rests on me. And I did not know that I had support. Honestly, I thought they're my kids, they're my responsibility. I got to take care of them. I did not know that part of being a family meant that they could love me too and support me too. I didn't know that. I thought it was just me having to shoulder everything. I didn't know that it was okay for my kids to support me and that they still respected me and trusted me to lead them. And that's groundbreaking for me because I've really been carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, and I don't feel like I've been relying on God. I feel like whatever it is, I don't like to ask for help or accept it. And I'm realizing that's not a power move, that's actually a weakness. If you are strong, you should be able to ask for help. You know. So God and I have some things to work on. because yesterday I got frustrated, and I'm talking to my ancestors and God, like, do you not see me down here trying to do all the things right? And it's like, y'all do know I'm down here, right? Like, what is with this struggle narrative? Like, why am I the one struggling? I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I don't do this, I don't do that, I can't go here, I can't go there. Why we got Ed struggling to the list? Like, I did not come here to struggle. And throughout the day, every time I would like get in the shower, or like, yeah, every time I run, like, be near water at all, it was always just, everything will be fine. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. It's something about water. It's something about me being in water. And I am a water sign, but it's just something about me being in water where it's like when I put my head or my hands in the water, there's always this, everything is going to be okay. Everything. So that's just going to be my mantra for a while. I'm just going to stick with one for right now. And I need to go back to living moment to moment, day by day, just like they told us to in therapy, because I'm starting to overwhelm myself. And I'm looking around at my kids, and they're just so happy and energetic and bubbly. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with me? Well, I'm only focusing on the negative stuff. I'm only focused on what I don't have and all my shortcomings. That's all I'm focusing on. And I didn't think that I was. But yeah, in your mind, in your private times, that is what you're focusing on. And that's not what Spirit wants me to focus on. I believe Spirit wants me to focus on Spirit and developing a relationship with Spirit. Honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you. That's what it all leads back to. And yesterday I sat there with my daughter, and she talked to me for about 4 or 5 hours, and I just listened. And I really started to see her with different eyes. I've been thinking that I'm the only one that's gone through anything and nobody can understand me, and that's not true. My kids have been through just as much as me. And yesterday I saw her as my equal. I really did. The way that she spoke, the things that she'd been through, the way that she handled herself, the way that she sees the world, like, she's not a little girl anymore. I feel like I've been underestimating not just myself, but my kids too. Like, they don't need me in the ways that I thought that they did. I thought I needed to be their protector, and it's not given that. They can protect themselves. What they need me to do is listen and to work on myself. That's what they need, and that's what I need to. The other thing that I noticed was how social media has been affecting me in a very negative way. I've never been like a jealous person or been someone that's looking at what other people are doing, but for some reason, the other day, I just really started getting caught up in like my numbers and views, and I started feeling like nobody was watching my videos and I would never get monetized and I'm just not good enough. And it's like, girl, where is this coming from? And I feel like it's because I keep looking at what other people are doing and how fast they're growing and all this other stuff and comparing them to me, when I need to understand that my journey is unique. And I don't want to do some of the things that other people have done to grow their channel. And I'm being told to have patience and to be steadfast. And that's what I'm going to do, because I've been really stressing myself out for no reason. So I want to get better with that. I'm going to replace me being on social media so much with me reading more and spending time with myself and doing all the things that I haven't been doing for the past 3 years that I'm supposed to, like meditating. That's the one thing that has come up for years. And I just, on a daily basis, I don't do it. My books are sitting here screaming for me to read them because there's information in there that could help me. I feel like when I'm on YouTube and I'm watching what other people are doing, it's no longer inspiring me. It's starting to make me feel bad about myself and making me feel like I need to be doing other things than what I'm doing right now. And I don't feel like that's true. So I've really got to pull back from that and really get myself grounded and stay this way. I don't want to be a month from now still having the same issue. And a month from now, I want my days to look totally different. I want to have most of my time be off of a screen. And that's just not how my life is now. I spend most of my time in front of a screen. And it's not just hurting my eyes and my head. It's actually hurting my heart at this point. I don't have to struggle, and I don't have to focus on things that are negative. I don't know why my mind is like that, but it doesn't have to stay that way. So I do believe that these grounded exercises and making spaces throughout the day to do nothing but pray and connect with Spirit will help me not be so reactive. when there are changes that come up in my life. You know, it's so bad. Like, I don't even check the mail because I don't want to see a letter that is gonna send me into some type of spiral. It's like any type of change sends me into a panic, and I don't want to be like that. That's the old version of me. That's not the new version of me. And I want to be not bipolar so bad that I do forget that I, on paper, am bipolar, even though I feel like my sensitivities are spiritual. My biology says that I have a chemical imbalance. And I feel like I need to acknowledge that a little bit more physically so that I make sure that I'm supporting myself the proper way. I broke my mouse. That was crazy. I have a I had a cordless mouse and it wasn't working, and I usually just tap it. Well, what started as a tap ended as a slam and it exploded. So, yeah. I had to order a new one. It'll be here tomorrow, and I need that to finish the rest of my project. So, right now, I'm going to drink some water and watch a little bit of YouTube, and then I think maybe we'll read. I made some rice because I made beans the other day. So the kids are fine for the week for food. I shouldn't have to cook. It's been so hot in Maryland. I have not wanted to cook. I haven't had a hot chocolate in 2 days. You know, I drink hot chocolate every day. Haven't had my little lemon drop in 2 days, and I drink that every morning. Haven't had it because it's been too hot. I've been drinking ice cold water. That's what's on the menu. So then we'll get to moving around and hit the rest of our day, which I feel like will be much better than yesterday. I was just so low. I don't like feeling like that. I don't like feeling like that at all. I just felt so worthless and unimpactful, just basically invisible and unnecessary in this world. That's a horrible way to feel, especially when you love life and you love to learn, and you love your family, and you love God. To just wake up and look around and feel like you're a failure and be questioning whether God thinks you're a failure is crazy, because where did that even come from? And I'm not even going to hold you. It really just can't. This is what really sent me off. So I have all of my bills automated so that they go to my credit card. So that way I'm not worrying about what's due at what time or anything. And it helps me manage my money. And literally down to the penny, I have everything. This money is for this, and that's it. Like, and so everything is set, so I don't have to worry about anything. So I get an email yesterday talking about we're about to take your domain name for your website because you haven't paid. And I called them. I'm like, no, I paid it. Here's a receipt. And they're like, no, this is an annual fee. And it was almost $50. Now, I don't know, like, from my budget, that has to be budgeted in. Like, if I needed to spend an extra $50, I needed to know that last month. And so I'm sitting here a week away from getting any more money, and I'm looking at that like, what are you talking about? You about to take my domain name? I didn't budget for this. And then that's what started it. So now now I'm going into a panic about everything that I'm going to lose, and then how that's going to affect everything. And I just felt like everything was crumbling around me. Now, is that a normal response to I don't think that's a normal, and I shouldn't keep saying normal, but for me, when I say normal, it means people who are not bipolar. Is that a normal response to a situation like that? No. It should not send you spiraling into a depression, but the way my brain works is, if I lose one thing, I'm going to lose everything, and we're all going to die. So that's what I'm dealing with inside of my head. I'm constantly having to remind myself, reassure myself all throughout the day, all throughout life. We are here. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. You are able to, just all of that. One day it won't have to be that way, but right now that's how it is. So that's what happens to me when there's any type of change in my environment or in my schedule or in my finances. It will send me into a panic. So I had to deal with that. And my son ended up paying it because we pay for things for each other, because we all get money at different times. But that's what did it. And had I done my grounding exercises in the morning and been at the proper frequency, I would have never reacted that way. It wouldn't have been a reaction. I would have come from a place of problem solving and not a place of fear. So it was a little frustrating because I thought we had gotten past that. And I remember seeing something from Tabitha Brown saying that healing is a lifelong process. And that made me feel a little bit more accepting of when my days are low. I didn't think that as a person that believes in a higher power that I should be sad or be scared, and I would beat myself up about that. But then I learned that it's okay to have those emotions and to work through them. And I use those spaces to talk to God about it. And I'll be like, yo, I ain't trying to be disrespectful or anything, but I am upset right now. I am scared right now. I am angry right now. So I feel like maybe if I talk to the spirit or my ancestors about it, it's not so bad. But it's like if I just sit and ruminate, I don't want to like manifest those fears. So instead of just sitting there alone in my sadness, because it don't stay at sadness, then it just becomes all encompassing. If I connect with that negativity in any type of way, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the next thing you know, I'm caught in my past, sitting in a dark corner, watching memories of me do things that are not me anymore. And then you look up and it's 6 weeks later and you've been in a depressive episode. So to avoid all of that, I combine my mental and spiritual health together. When I'm feeling low, I bring spirit in. Like, we need to deal with this together. Okay? Because I'm struggling. And it works. So I've learned to involve God in everything. Because I really am not able to do it properly on my own. I'm just not. I need help, and I've learned that is okay. And I reach out for it, and I accept it. So, moving forward, I've really got to work on letting God in to my spaces where I just cover myself in darkness. I don't have to do that. I never had to do that. I really appreciate the relationship that I'm cultivating with God and with my ancestors, because with me being adopted and not having parents or family outside of my kids, it can get very it can get very it can get strange out here and scary when you feel like you're alone, living in hell, having to protect innocent kids. And like, that's the narrative that I was living. But you don't live in hell, you live on earth. Okay? And even though it gives hell a little bit, it can also give heaven if you allow it. And so I have to rewrite the narrative of my life and understand that I'm not a victim. I'm not here to suffer. And yes, things can get tough sometimes, but that is so that I can build myself up to be strong. And that's the time where I need to lean in on my faith. And I do have strong faith. I have strong faith in my family, in myself, and in God. And I don't see those things as separate. I don't see those things as separate. I see us as interdependent. I do. God needs me to express herself. I need her for everything. So in that way, those 3 times a day where I'm praying, I'm reminding myself that I'm not alone, because it's not enough for me to just have a God. I need that God with me all the time. I need to feel her all the time. All the time. I'm at the point in my life where I don't want to think bad thoughts. I don't want to feel anger. I don't want to get triggered. I don't want to be bad. I don't. Like, I really don't. Like, I actually have this deep desire to be pure and to think good things and do good things and to be good. But I have so much anger inside of me from the betrayals and lies and the deception that is blocking me, I believe. I believe that it's blocking me from my blessings. So, moving forward in my life, I have got to let all of that go. And I'm going to find out how to do that. But I've got to ground myself in my relationship with God first. I love you. I'll catch you in the next episode.